Good evening, folks. We're talking about tonight how to find, attract, engage with, and retain customers for our business. I can't think of a more important subject that we need to be interested in. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you all for being with us and for getting started. Uh, we need to bring those customers in, and if you just don't sit back and hope that it happens, you might be in trouble. I think we need to have a plan to make it happen and bring them in just like we're catching fish. So that's what I want us to do. I'm Steve Carver, and I'm talking with you from my home office studio in Dunn, North Carolina. This is October 3rd, 2024, and my presentation number 1138. 1138. Thank you for joining me, and let me join you on your journey. Let me tell you, I'm not a lawyer or a CPA. I'm just a fellow that's still in business after 65 years. I had a good business day today, talked with people down in Georgia and Oklahoma, sent some quotes out, sold a few parts to folks. I'm in the farm equipment implement business is what I've been doing all these years, and doing it now through a website on the internet called carverequipment.com. But our interest tonight, though, is how to find customers and help them find us is the key. And the Small Business Center at Samson Community College is sponsoring the program tonight, and Bart Rice is the director there, and we certainly appreciate his support. And you are welcome to give Bart a call at 910-900-4025, and Bart will do everything he can to help you move your small business forward in any way he can. There's no charge for the service, and it's totally confidential, and I highly recommend it. After the webinar tonight, you will get an email survey. It'll take you at least 60 seconds to fill it out, and I'd certainly appreciate you doing it and sending it back in, and that will help them gauge the answers you give to help Bart plan future webinars and programs that he puts up. Next Thursday night, we're going to be talking about fundraising, finding the money to get your small business started, how to use it when you do find it, how to cash flow your business, and also we'll be talking a lot about loan documents as you move forward. So tonight kind of ends our series of business planning and marketing and reaching out to customers. And the next three programs are going to be more about sharpening and enhancing our business skills to help us be better business person. Hello, Sarita and Altrice. It's good to have you all with us tonight, and hope that you're having a very good day. If you've been getting your email, we've got 11 files that were sent out for this webinar, with the main one being number 1137, which are our talking points, and lots of other important information there for you. Let me encourage you to set up a file on your computer where you can save these study guides that I'm sending to you, because they certainly will come in real handy in the future. Let me tell you that I know that I'm made for so much more. I keep finding new things that I can do and become better at the things I do work at. And that helps me, and you guys really help push me forward a whole lot too, because I'm always, every week, you may not notice it, but every week I change and try to improve and update my presentations to keep them interesting for all of you. So don't give up on me at 77. I'm still cranking along, and I promise you that I won't give up on you either. I know there's a lot of good things in store for you. It's your choice how much work you put in or how much assignments that you take up. It's all right with me if you just sit back and enjoy the classes, but I'll be a whole lot more gratified if I see you applying these things and make them work in your business. And some of you that have been attending classes this fall are doing a great job, and I'd like to mention those. Thank you for your attendance. A lot of you have attended all of our sessions, and I certainly do appreciate that. If you attend at least 5 of these sessions, you'll be eligible to get a certificate. And if you do some of the homework assignments and such as that, you'll be eligible to become an associate member of the Academy of Entrepreneurs and Associates. And I certainly encourage you all to do that as well. Let's talk about some of our friends that are joining us for the fall classes. Hope Satcher is over in Murphy, and I've been trying to contact her since the storms hit the mountains. Murphy is in the furthest to the west that you can go. People refer to North Carolina as from Manteo to Murphy. Well, Hope is over as far west as you can go, and I got a feeling that she's in an area that really has been hurt or cut off by the floods and the hurricane storm that went through. I'm looking forward to hearing from Hope. She's in the life of wellness. She's a practicing nurse, so I know that she's had a really busy week, and our prayers go out to her over in Murphy. Noticing now that Jimmy Packer has joined us. Jimmy, so glad to have you down joining us from Lower Sampson County in Garland. I hope things are going well for you. We've been missing you and glad to see you on board. Thanks for plugging in. We need your expertise here. Back to Hope. Let's all keep Hope in our prayers. She's over right in the middle of the danger zone, so we really want her to be safe and sound with what she's doing. Sarah's been joining us on Tuesday nights, and she's doing a great job. She's got a lot of her homework done in business planning. She got an award from the center at Nash County for her attendance and a little gift that she's coming along. Fruit May at Whitaker's is doing a good job with her new business. She's a chemist. She has joined us from Vietnam about 10 years ago, got her degrees. She's a chemist and works in the food industry in Rocky Mount. But now she's starting her own flower farm and doing just a great job. She completed all of her homework assignments the first week. And this week she has got her YouTube channel in gear. You can see the link to it down there. I'd like for y'all to join that. Videos in your YouTube channel, and it'll be so very important for you. So Drew is showing us how to make it happen. I'm so proud of her and the work she's doing. Dr. Tamara Thomas is a minister and now starting her own consulting business as well. She's been working real hard at it and so proud of what she's doing. This week she did her business card and sent us a copy of it. She got her account at Google, My Business on Google. She got that established and it's working, and I was able to send in a recommendation for her already. So if you do these things for your business, good things will start happening for you. So let me encourage you to do it. She also sent me a copy of her mobile page, which we talk about a lot. And we'll talk about it tonight. It's the most important web page that you have is your mobile page. And she developed a new one there, and it's looking really good. Of course, as a business coach, it was my job to let her know how I thought it could be improved. And I sent her some tips for improving it, and we'll see what happens next week if she sends us another copy of it. David has joined us for our first two sessions on Tuesday and Thursday nights, a really fine gentleman that's in the tax preparation business. The rest of the story is David's office is in downtown Weaverville and downtown Marshall. That is right in the middle of some of the areas that have been hit hardest by the floods. And the videos that I've seen on Facebook really have me worried about David and his safety. I've reached out to him several times but haven't heard back, so keep him in your prayers as well. You know, when these storms come through and touch people that we're in class with all the time, our friends and family, it really, really brings it home. So I'm concerned for David and his family and hope things are well for him. Miko over in Greensboro is doing a great job, and she's working really hard. She has come forward with her first introduction video, which I'm so proud of her. Let me encourage you to turn your volume up, and let's look at Miko's very first video.
Hello, I'm Mr. Harris of Miss Miko Celebration. At Miss Miko Celebrations, we're about celebrating you, friendship, and social memories, gifts, and party collections, creating gatherings and social occasions. We are currently training and crafting resin with wood, fabric, and slate fronts. Please come below. I'm just for next to me. Thank you.
Isn't that fantastic? So proud of Miko. So I sent her back a note and said that was great, and thank you for doing it. I want each and every one of you to do your introduction videos. And I sent her a note and said, now go ahead and do another video. Take one of your products, hold it up, talk about it as that one product. Just do one video for that product, and then you can market it with that search term and get people to come and see your video with the product. It'll really help you get some more business. Top is working hard to get her all-in-one center, her nonprofit, going to work. And Robbie James over in Roseboro, I'm sure he's been really busy after the storms, and I appreciate all the hard work that he did a few weeks ago and shared with us, letting us use him as an example. He's just working hard in Winston-Salem with her Junket Beep, which is help people plan parties, and she's done a lot of work with her menu and her business plan and such as that. So see everybody's working. Go by the Facebook page for the Academy, promote it, sign on, become a member, and keep up with it. Maybe you'll see some information about yourself. If you'll send it to me, I will work hard to make it work. My job is to be assertive and to help motivate folks to move forward. And based on what we've just seen, we've got a lot of activity with people working hard to get their businesses up and running. And I'm so proud of her and so glad that I'm able to do that. And I would take a minute, and I see that Hope is joining us now. And Hope, if you can, and you have a microphone that you can say hello to us, we'd like to talk to you just a minute if you're available. Let me know. You can just sign on when it's available to you. We'll be talking about the 40 drill skills as we move along and see what we can make happen there. One of your assignments is to take these drill skills that you get in your handout and paraphrase them as to how you would make them work in your business and go from there. I hope if you're listening and you have a microphone, let us know. We'll chat with you for a moment.
I'm here.
Good. We were just talking about you and sending prayers out your way. And what is your situation in Murphy, storm-wise? Did you come through without harm?
I did. I just have some trees down on my property, but my house is safe. Everything is safe. I got very, very lucky.
Well, thank the Lord. I know that you must be very concerned with the videos and the news we see coming out of the hills. A lot of people have got some real challenges in front of them, and we'll do all we can to help them. I'm so glad to hear that you're safe and sound.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, and take care. Again, thank you for joining us tonight. Okay, drill skill number 25 it is so important that you understand how to tune up your senses to be a better communicator. And that is so important in relationship building with your customers. And I'll assure you that lots of times customers will give you more information with things they don't say than things they do say, with the way they hold their body posture, and things like that. Nonverbal communication is a big deal. Now, in week 5, we'll be talking a lot about nonverbal communications. So I want you to be ready for it and read those handouts when they get to you next week. They'll be very important for you. Number 6, no one is motivated until someone is assertive. Assertive is a big, important word in the entrepreneur DNA. And I want to encourage you to find a way to encourage people to move forward. You don't have to be a bully, and you don't have to push people where they don't want to go. But I will assure you, you must have enough self-confidence to show people that you believe in what you're promoting, and that you come across as sincere and honest and dedicated and trying to help them. But being assertive is to motivate folks. You don't need to motivate yourself. We need to motivate our customers, and we need to motivate our vendors. Someone has to rock the boat, and that'll be your job, okay? So just know that's just a part of being an entrepreneur that you need to own. Now, 2 weeks from tonight, we're going to be talking about taxes and other things, and there's 2 words that are going to come up: the word avoidance and the word evasion. And I want you to know that Jimmy and Sarita and Altrice and Hope, it is a good thing for you to use tax avoidance. Tax avoidance is you lining up your business and your accounts and the way you manage your money in such a way to help you reduce your tax load. We have to do that. And it's okay to talk about it and figure out ways that you can do it. You get help from your bookkeepers, you get help from your CPAs, you get help from folks that are giving you counseling on how to pay less taxes. There is a point, though, that if you start cheating or lying or misrepresenting, that's tax evasion. And that's a no-no. That's a bad thing that can end up costing you fines and penalties, and if it's serious enough, even jail time. So we don't want to have anything to do with tax evasion, but I will assure you that as we move forward talking about spending our money, we're going to do all we can for tax avoidance. So that's an important thing to say yes. It's not how many times we get knocked down that counts in business. What counts is how many times we get back up and ask that customer for another order, to smile, put on a positive light, and be positive as we're going, and be willing to stay in the race. In entrepreneurship, that's how you win. Winning is not crossing the finish line first. In entrepreneurship, winning is staying in the race. Keep your cash flow coming in, staying profitable, staying sustainable to the point that you can enjoy a long-term business and really not have to sweat blood very often into whether or not your business is going to make it or not. Last week, I kept giving you the clear signal. If you've got a good marketing campaign like the Golden Goose campaign we described, and you follow those instructions, it's not rocket science and it's not all good luck. It's doing the fundamental things to help your business stay there, and it will work. It will work. Just maintain the things you have to do. Is your legacy going to be that of a taker or a giver? A taker or a giver? As being an associate member and master and the founder of the Academy of Entrepreneurs and Associates, I will assure you that me and all of our fellow associates are here to be givers. We want to run our businesses in such a way that we find win-win solutions for ourselves and our customers. And we're not going to take advantage of people. We're not going to lie. We're going to do all we can to make a good profit, but not take advantage of folks. And when we have the opportunity to help someone, that's what we'll do. When you create that legacy for yourself as a business person, you automatically start becoming a winner as an entrepreneur. People will know you, they will love you, they will become raving fan customers and send other people to you. You and I both know some people that are not givers. They do all they can to take advantage of people and cheat and lie and do things like that, take advantage of folks that are trying to help them. We don't want to go there. No, we want to be have a good legacy as a business person that is helping people. Number 30, let your light shine as if it's a candle. Let your personality, the business projection that you're sending out there, just like Hope does in her presentations online and otherwise. She's a great example that we can use. Her life, her being is that of being a light, a candle, wanting to help people. And letting that light shine not only brings direction to people, but it also shares warmth. That's a goal we all should have and work towards it every day. And if you make that a part of your mission, vision, and promise statements, that's the way you're going to conduct yourself and your business, you will find yourself every day being reminded of that and do things a little different. You will put it in practice, and you will feel good and glad that you did it. The magic marketing moment we talked about last week is the total reward for having a structured marketing plan. Because the magic marketing moment, you get there only after you go through the processes of getting the customer in, maybe making a sale or not, but getting their contact information, and then the important thing is following up. Making the sale is important, but it's not the main goal of your marketing plan. The main goal of your marketing plan is to get to a magic marketing moment with every individual customer and hopefully a raving fan customer, so that you're able to say to them, I'm making sure you're 100% satisfied and asking, is there anything I can do to improve our business and become a better business for you? Tell me what you're thinking about buying next. What products do I need to have in our product line that we don't have? Or do you know someone that's maybe thinking about buying something that I can contact? Getting the information from your raving fan customers is the key to knowing what's next. What's next in your business that's how you go about it, is using that magic marketing moment to glean the information so that you can put it in your plan and have a better marketing plan and stay in business. Lastly, we're going to talk about how important videos are. Every week I have said how important they are, and it's just as important as it was to begin with. Tomorrow, as a matter of fact, I have set a priority tomorrow. I am not going to stop work tomorrow until I do at least 3 videos to help my products at my business. I've been procrastinating and finding other things that's been getting in the way, so I'm going to work really hard towards doing some videos myself, and let me encourage you all to do it as well. Now, in some of the sample emails that I sent you, I went through step by step to help you show you how to do those videos, so please get on board. They will make more impact for your business than anything else that you can do. Put it to work. Let's do some chat questions. Y'all get your hot fingers ready to do it on the chat board if you can. Let me ask you a few questions. So we talked last week about the 3 times rule. That's a rule that helps us determine how to go about pricing if we've never priced before. And I said a good way to start out is to, whatever you're paying for something, is to multiply it times 3 and let that be your selling cost. Now, you may not be able to stay there. You may have to come back and rearrange things. But the question is, if you multiply it times 3, we're going to use 1/3 to cover our cost, our original raw material cost. We're going to use the next third to cover our in-house overhead, our business expenses. But what are we going to use that last third of money for? Why are we saying times 3 instead of times 2? So the first third is to cover your initial cost, second to cover your overhead. What are we going to pay for with that last third of money? First word starts with P and the second with T. Remember what that is? Well, Hope's already typed it in there, and she's exactly right. Yes, it's to cover your profit and your taxes. So again, after you multiply times 3 and you got a place to start in the market, then you compare what you're asking in the market to what the competition is. You might be able to raise it up, or you might need to trim it down, but you always want to cover your cost, your overhead, and have some money left for profit and taxes. The 27 times rule reminding us that a customer is not going to do any serious big ticket money business with you until they've heard your message or been familiar with it or contacted you at least how many times? How many times? What is the number, the magic number that people begin to feel comfortable with you? What is that number? Type that in if you remember it. You may not remember this one, but the 27 times rule may give you a little hint. It's 9 times. It's 9 times, Whitney. That's close, but 9 times is the key. And doing your very best with your advertising and marketing that we talked about last week, folks will miss seeing your presentations 2 out of 3 times when you're doing as good as you can do. 2 out of 3 times is what the next 2 blank lines are about. So if they're going to miss it 2 out of 3 times, then they have to see it 9 times to become a chance to become a really good customer. We're going to say 3 times 9 and come up with 27 is the last blank there. Hence the 27 times rule. And that's a big deal. That's a big deal, as we explained last week, because doing that 27 times rule helps you understand that we need to keep constantly a flow of information going out to our customer base. Constant promotions, little ads here, little ads there, so that when it is time for us to have a special marketing campaign or advertising promotion and spend some big money on bigger ads, that we don't have to buy so many. If we've got a lot of little ads out there all the time, then we'll be able to buy fewer big ads and have them considered. It's a big, good way to save money. That's the 27 times rule. SEO, we're going to really zero in on tonight, so I want us to really know what that is. What does the letters SEO stand for? And I want you to know this. I'd like for you to type it in. I'd like for you to type it in because that will help you remember as you're doing different work, helping to promote your business. What does SEO stand for? Type out those 3 letters in the chat board if you don't mind. SEO. There we go. Thank you so much for pumping in there. I appreciate y'all's efforts. SEO search engine optimization. And that's a big deal for tonight, and you'll hear this a whole lot of times. So search engine optimization. Now, the words of the week we do every week. We've got 3 weeks under our belt, and of course tonight is week number 4. Do you remember what the first 3 words of the week were? The first week started with S, second week started with M. Last week the letter was A that it started with. Remember the 3 words of the week? Why do we talk about this? Let's constantly be learning and adding information to our vocabulary to help us become more astute and be better communicators. That's exactly right. I hope you're going to get 100% tonight, coming all the way in from the mountains. I appreciate it. You got it just exactly right. Yes, it's shrewd, mindfulness, and assertiveness are our words, no doubt about it. And so glad to see y'all working at that. Big words. We'll use them again tonight. Tonight, the word is endurance. Endurance. I started trying to use this word a whole lot more a year before last when I attended a church service down at Elizabethtown. Jason Williams, the minister there, he did a whole sermon on the word endurance. And it really rang my bell because how important the word is when you apply it to your Christian life. But as I was sitting there thinking about it, and I discussed this with him as well, how this can be so much applied to staying in business and entrepreneurship. Having the endurance to stay with it, even in a hardship or adversity, but staying with it, and for a long period of time. Sometimes getting a business started or keeping it alive for a long time, you will have some rough roads to go through. Man, we can sure apply this to our friends over in the mountains and the endurance that they're going to need to dig down and find in their intestinal fortitude to see this thing through. And they can gain strength from us by encouraging them and giving them all the support that we can. So let's find the endurance to stay in the game. Let's find the endurance to be the best people we can be, help other folks, and have a better business. Okay, moving now right into the meat of the matter. I sent to you this past week about 15 emails, and they gave you lots of samples. They're just samples. Tips that I have used through the years, samples that I put together for the students in my classes to show you how to use the tools that we talked about last week and this week in your email that you're sending out. These are just little nuggets that will help your communications with your customers be a lot more effective and get the messages through that we need to keep planting in them so they remember us. I sent you an email on basically how to put together product videos, step by step, and gave you some examples. You can easily do a simple video. You really can. And if you have that simple raw video, then other people, myself included, and my virtual assistants can take your raw video and add script to them and pictures and more information to make them more interesting and more effective. So look at these videos that I've had my folks do. And I notice you're not interested in buying that equipment. You're looking at these videos to see all the add-ons that have been included over just a regular voice message or a simple action video. You can enhance them to become as effective as any TV commercial that you see that has been professionally done. Use your Facebook. Get in there. Make it work for you. Please go on Facebook. Find me, like me, let me know, send me a message, something I can tell that you're there. And then I'll be able to watch what you're doing to promote your business, and we'll help you for the long term as well. How do we find customers, Whitney? Alfreece, how do we find customers, Hope? The answer is so easy. We help them find us by helping them find us. And imagine that your marketing campaign, that your presentation to the world is like a magnet that brings folks into you. That's our objective. That's our objective as new entrepreneurs, bringing customers into us. Because the alternative is to do nothing and just maybe they'll come or maybe they won't. Or to burn a lot of oil, a lot of gas, a lot of time, a lot of energy, and going out and beating the bushes everywhere you can go, to everywhere you can find a customer, planning a sit-down meeting with them, doing this and that, everything you can to get that customer's business. That won't work for us anymore. We don't have to do some of it, and I'll get to that later. But in the main, we want to bring customers to us so that we'll be able to manage and spend some time with hundreds of customers a week instead of one or two. So keep that in mind. Is your business acting like a magnet to bring customers in? Our theory tonight, and I just want you to accept this is a good thing to do for the long term. We need to get our thinking, our how to find customers thinking into targeted customer groups and targeted regions. Where do we want to spend our focus on getting folks to come? And who do we want to spend our money on as far as advertising and marketing in directional sense? The direction to what region and the direction to what customer group. So I like to use targets for an example. In each target, I've got 3 arrows. These 3 arrows represent the type of media that we're going to use, the methods that we're going to use to put that media to work, and are there some guerrilla marketing techniques that we can put into play to make our campaign more successful. Media, method, guerrilla marketing. We want to apply that to our regions and to our customer groups. So let's kind of move into that. Have you determined where your best customer groups are probably located? Are you going to try to bring people in from your county area, or maybe a couple or 3 counties, maybe 50 or 80 miles away? You feel like that's where you'll be able to bring people in? And if yes, that's great. But maybe you can also bring people in from several hundred miles away if you're doing things like retreats or special events that people would come in from a long way off, and maybe other things. So think about your business as to how it would work. Now, joining us tonight is Jimmy Packard, who is a really successful business person down in Garland, North Carolina, and has a fantastic barber shop. And I'm just so proud of Jimmy and how hard he works, how many hours standing up there getting it done. But the shop is always full. He makes it happen. And while I am a regular customer for him and I'm 60 miles away, I'm probably an exception long distance. So I'm not someone that's going to recommend to Jimmy that he spends a lot of money on people 60 to 100 miles away. He could, however, because the reason I'm going there is that I go past his shop while I'm on the way to White Lake, North Carolina, where Norma and I have a camper. So on warm weekends, we go down there and spend a weekend, and I'm only 8 miles away from Jimmy when I'm there. So I would recommend to Jimmy that he does focus on White Lake resort goers, because that might be a good potential customer base for him. Now, he has a full shop now and has for years, so he is in the mode, in the thinking mode, that maybe he should expand. And instead of having 2 or 3 chairs in his shop, maybe he's got enough business to keep it full with 8 chairs there and to hire 5 or 6 more people to come and work with him. You need to think out of the box. What is your long-term plan for long-term success and how you can grow your business, and how maybe one day you can sell your business to someone else if you decide you want to retire or go in other directions. So come up with the region that you want to work, and then we'll be able to determine what media and what size budget that you would want to use within that particular area. Maybe you're looking at a region that's statewide. If you're looking at statewide, we would use different medias like Google Ads and more videos, more mobile page, a lot more print ads if you're looking for a statewide region. Maybe nationwide. You may be in a position like I am to sell nationwide with the products and services that we offer. Doing that, I use different media than Jimmy would because I am trying to get out wide, and I would use a lot more Google Ads. My business on Google becomes more important. More and more videos are more important, and it's not on the screen here, but SEO. SEO is super important if you're looking at stretching out really wide, because you'll start using SEO strengthening tools in your web pages to bring people in from other cities, other states, other regions. But so the thinking process, being savvy and mindfulness about what you need to do to get to the region that you're working in. Now, the customers are so important as well. We can't be all things to all people, we've said often, but we have to be everything to some people, Sarita. We have to be everything to some people, and they will become our raving fan customers. So let's think about who is the low-hanging fruit. And what do I mean by that? Well, that term's been around a long time, and in marketing, low-hanging fruit is saying, I want to go to those customers that are closest to me, the easiest to reach, the customers I can do a large volume without spending a lot of money. Just like you're picking fruit, just like you're picking apples. So the low-hanging fruit, we don't find our customer groups that are closer to us, easy to reach, easy to identify, and then we can get a lot of them very easily. And that's usually the first group of targeted customers you want to go after. Now, what makes up for low-hanging fruit? A lot of different things do, and I want to come that and pick it up. So now, thinking the low-hanging fruit, now what are the most effective ways that we can reach these people for the least amount of money? And I want to tell you there are a few ways here that are so important that I want you to really try to remember them. The most effective and lowest cost way for you to have a successful marketing campaign to boost your business right now, Jimmy and Hope, to boost your business right now is with your mobile web page. Just like Tamara showed us earlier, she went ahead after last week and started working on her mobile page, improving it, and it's going to make a big difference. You either got one or you do not, so let me challenge you right now. If someone types in the name of your business on their phone, what do they see? What do they see on the phone when it comes up with your business? Is it gobbledygook? Is it a picture of maybe your web page or a Facebook page? Or is it an effective tool to get them to call you right now? That's what you want. You don't want just whatever shows up. You want to design or have your web person that helps you design an effective mobile page. Now, on your screen here is a copy of my mobile page from carverequipment.com. See the blue button here? The blue button is my way of saying to that customer that's looking at my company maybe for the first time, call me up right now. Hit that blue button, make my phone ring, and I'll talk to you. I'll be glad to talk to you. No one is doing that in the world to speak of now. Most people want you to call or leave a message so they can get back to you at their convenience. But if you got the nerve to take calls as they come in, and with a nice, friendly voice said, hello there, I'm Sarita Sampson. I'm so glad you called. How can I help you? That's what people want to hear. Instead of a recording that says leave a message or go through a long menu. So I encourage you to put your mobile page so that people are encouraged to press that button and talk to you. Now, if it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning or they're in California, the time difference, just they don't want to do that, then give them the option to touch that red button and send you a text message and ask for a quote or ask you a question. So that's why you want to have a cell phone related to your business so people can send you text messages very easily. Having those 2 major goals accomplished, then add some photographs. Don't add a bunch of hard pictures to read, a lot of text that folks aren't going to be able to read on their telephone unless they expand it way out. Give them some photographs, and when they touch that photograph to one of your profit centers, they'll go right straight to your landing page on your website and learn more about how to do this or that. Now, after this page, of course, like on all cell phones, they keep scrolling down and get more information, whatever you want them to see next. But the first thing up on the screen needs to be something powerful. impactful that brings customers to you. Forgive me if I'm too assertive on this, but I'm telling you that with 85% of the people shopping on the internet now through their telephone, this is the most important message I can share with you. Make it happen. This is one of my mobile pages for where we sell our books at Amazon. And so you can have a number of different mobile pages if you want to. The second most effective way to help customers find you is the old-fashioned way. And it's also one of the least costliest. And it is understanding what RFCs are. What is an RFC? And we need to send them constant promotions. So if you still got your chat board handy over there, tell me what an RFC is. Get used to saying it, get used to writing it, get used to having it in your mind. What does RFC represent? Who are these people? Somebody type it on in there for me. Let me see that you're alive and waiting. Give me an amen. Who is the RFC? Last week I taught you how to create them, remember? Well, the RFCs are the raving fan customers. They're the raving fan customers, and they are so important in everything that we go forward with in our business. That's the old-fashioned way, but the raving fan customers, they have to be fed. We have to feed them constant promotions all the time. Send them out messages about what it is that they need. And you're telling them about your profit centers. You're telling them about new things that you have. And you're doing this very often through email blast. Doing that keeps your raving fan customers active. It keeps them talking with their friends and neighbors and new people they meet about these new things that you've got or great deals that you've got. That's what I'm determined to start tomorrow with some new videos and some emails to back them up. Sending constant promotions to my raving fan customers. I want you to do that. I know it'll work for you. The third most least expensive but most powerful way to get people coming into your business is really important too. So let's keep it simple. I'm going to kind of mix it up a little bit here. What is the 5-star plan that I told you about last week? The 5-star plan to help move forward right now. I'll ask you that a little later. The third most effective way to get customers to come see you is just what Tamara was doing this week. She got her My Business on Google account up and running and working through it. And that is so important because that's almost like a free website for you. Not only just is it a website, it's a Google website, which means it will be very powerful. Very, very powerful. It tells people where you are. It lets people leave messages for you. And Jimmy, I would mention to you in your business, My Business at Google can be the most powerful tool that you have. I'm not sure if you already have that or not, but it will give people a map to you so that if someone is at White Lake or at the beach or in Elizabethtown or in Garland or in Clinton, and they're looking for a barbershop basically in the Garland area, Google My Business account will send them right straight to your website, give them a picture of your business with those new windows installed in there and the phone number, and it can be a really good tool to help people find you. Here's an example of some friends we have down in Wilmington in the crab cake business. They got their My Business at Google account up and running, and in just a few days they started getting orders. It's just very, very powerful. Just as Brooke just did with her flower business, getting her YouTube channel. I'm so glad to see you guys doing that. It's so important for you. The more videos you have, then you can have your YouTube channel, and people will start subscribing to it. And then every time you put up a new video, they automatically get to see a picture of it. Very, very important thing to do to get that. So let's stop talking about it. Let's stop talking about it and go ahead and get some videos. Hope, I'm looking forward to getting some more videos from you. I think it will be really more powerful for you and your business than you can just imagine. So how else can we help customers find us? Well, using SEO, we can help customers find us big time, a lot more, by having more and more diverse profit centers. The more items that we're selling, the more information we can send out to our customers, and then they indeed will want to do a better job of coming to see us and such as that. So let's see, Whitney, I appreciate your note over in chat saying that you would like more information on that, and I will indeed send you more tomorrow, and it's not hard to find, and then we'll help you work through it. When I know where you live and in the town that you live in, I might be able to even recommend someone in your area. And thank you for the chat there. I was able to see it as it was coming up. You don't have to have your face. You don't have to have your voice. It really helps if you do. But indeed, you can create a video just using slides like I'm doing right here in my PowerPoint. You can have a video that is all about PowerPoints, getting the message out, and then do a little background music with you. It's better than nothing. And everything video-wise is better than nothing. But now, when you're able to do a different video with your different profit centers, then you're really in the groove. And I'd like for you to visit my YouTube channel, where you'll see we got videos on all of our presentations that we're making and everything that I sell. So when someone types in that search term, I try to have as many videos that will match up with the different things that they're typing in. And you can do it too. You can do it too. Who are the customer groups that's in your niche that you identify with? Because you are a teacher, you're a veteran, you're a mom, maybe you're into soccer, maybe you're into basketball, maybe you're into the Marine Corps or the Coast Guard. All these different little things, like with me, the American Legion, the Shriners, and the Coast Guard, and things like that. Every time that you can offer your shopper a common link that you may have with them, you have strengthened the deal. Giving your customers common denominators is the way that will help them find you. Because as they're searching and they see these little messages that you're giving them about what's happening with you, they say, hey, I identify with him, let's go check that out. You cannot imagine how many telephone calls per week that I get that start out with the word, Steve, thank you for your service. Because I let people know on every one of my web pages that I'm a veteran and proud of it, and I appreciate other veterans as well. And those of us that are veterans, we will communicate that with each other and give each other business. You're a lot less likely to have a fellow veteran. They will ask you for a veteran's discount, and that's fine. Just like the senior citizens ask for that. But they will not try to beat you down and not make any profit. They just want a fair shake. Any advantage you can give them, that's okay. Know that that's important. And that's a good example right there of always being able to say, this is not just take it or leave it. We'll figure out a way to make the price more attractive for you. We can do that. Now, once you have your customers, we have to start feeding them fresh bait. If we don't catch customers, we feed them fresh bait on a regular basis, and that is a discipline that you must object. It must become a priority for you. Now, SEO is on the plate now. That's what we're serving up this very minute. And I've sent to you a really good study guide handout, and I'd like for you to take time to read it if you would. I really would. And if it's going to be so important for you to have a more than just a passing understanding of what SEO is. I'm going to give you some good information tonight, and if you couple it with what's in the study guide, you'll be in there really well. Now, I'll ask you to give me a little sign of commitment that you will read this study guide. Indeed, you will open it up and find a time in the near future to read through that. And if you'll do that, give me an amen over here in the chat board. Just an amen that's saying, amen, I will do my best to spend some time with that study guide. How about everyone making a commitment to read that guide? Amen, amen, amen. It will make a difference for you to help you understand. And okay, thank you so much. Appreciate it. So, see the handout, and we're going to get into it now. Search engine optimization, in my opinion, is a set of skills and even an art form that helps you apply page content, apply words into the page on a web page that will help customers find your web page first and quicker and at a higher placement than all the other competitors out there in the world. And that's a big statement. All these other competitors out there in the world with websites, and it's billions. We've got a plan here through SEO that's going to help the shopper find you first instead of all these other people. That's what it's going to do for us. So you can see how important it is to our competitive nature and just to get a chance at doing new business. What is SEO again? It's a way to help you achieve higher ranking. Now, what do I mean by higher ranking? That's the placement that you have on the web page after someone searches for you. And our objective is to be on the first page, or at least on the second page as people start scrolling down at what they found with their search terms. I can tell you, as I showed you last week, you can be at the top page, you can be in the top 18 if you're willing to apply the discipline and the money and whatever it takes to get there, because I've done it. You know, it took some work and a good learning understanding. And you can play with that in a lot of different ways. And my job tonight is to tell you different ways to get there. There's 9,000 different things that you can do to improve your SEO. There are college courses that last months and months and semesters teaching nothing but SEO. But tonight, in this little 2-hour period, I'm going to spend some time giving you the 9 factors that I think you can manage, or you and your webmaster can manage, to make SEO become a really good fuel for you, a really good way to make some things happen that you can see. Most importantly, the name of your web page. If you have named your web page with the same word somewhere in that name, the word somewhere in that name that the shopper has typed into this as the search term, and you've got a page that's dedicated to that search term by title, I will assure you that your chances to moving up higher in rankings are powerful. So therefore, we don't talk about having more web pages named because of exactly the search term we think the customers may be typing in. That means we may have 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 web pages that look just alike, except they've got a different name at the top. That's right, because different people call different things by different names, and they search for different things with different search terms, even though they're looking for the same item that you're selling. So we'll name our web pages different names to meet that challenge for the people that's typing in the search terms. Number 2, mobile friendly. Now, unless you're into website building and have a good knowledge of how to build web pages and websites, you may not know how to make your pages more mobile friendly. But anyone worth their salt in this world of marketing will tell you that a mobile friendly page is one that when you look it up on the telephone, it comes, or on a pad, it comes up as a good web page, as a selling tool. And if it's not designed that way, it will not. So in this world of web page building, the webmasters will tell you that you got regular web pages and then you got pages that are mobile friendly, and there's a lot of different things that they do to tweak them to make them mobile friendly, even name them different things. You must do that. That mobile page is not the only mobile page you need to have at your website. Every landing page, every important page you think needs to be made mobile friendly. Now, I don't know how to do that, but I'll tell you this, every webmaster worth his salt does. And you need to have that conversation with your webmaster. If you don't understand how to make your pages mobile friendly, find someone who will. I'll have in the selling seasons, in the hot seasons for the products that I sell, let's say that I have 300 hits at my website, and of that maybe 150 emails come in. And of those, at least half, and sometimes 2/3, come in from my mobile web pages versus regular. I know that people are shopping on the phone just by that information. So take it at heart. It's a little piece of info that will make a big difference for you. The inclusion of videos on individual web pages and mobile pages is huge. When Google bought YouTube a few years ago, they told you. They told us, and they were telling the truth, that if you've got a YouTube video on a web page, the Google search engine will place your web page in front of anyone that does not. If you've got a YouTube video on your web page and everything else is equal, your page will go in front of everyone else that does not have a YouTube video. No matter how good the video is, or whatever, how long or how big or how colorful or how professional it is, that one video on a web page locks you into most of your customers, provided you've got your web pages named properly. Videos are so big. Search terms. What is a search term? Do you know? When you go to Google or any other search engine and you type in the page that you're looking for, you're searching for something individual, or at Amazon, you type in what you want to buy. That's a search term. And when you have the search terms that people will most likely use searching for the products and services that you're selling, when you have your web pages full with as many times that text is written into those web pages, the more likely it is that the search engine will zero in on your page versus someone that doesn't have it on there, doesn't have that word in there, but just 2 or 3 times. So the proliferation of lots of the same search terms on the web page make a big difference with the search engines finding your page. I'll show you some good examples of that later. Now, you visited websites, and I have too, that as soon as you got on the web page and you were starting to read or trying to figure out something, here is where the owner of that website says, now here's a link that you can go to see more pictures of this or learn more about that. Here's a link here and a link there. And they think that's really cool because they're providing information to you, a service to you. Well, I don't agree with that. And here's what I want to say to you. If you're going to go to the time, effort, money, and hard work to develop a website with lots of good information at it, then why in the world, when you're able to finally get the customers coming to your web page, which is like saying coming into your store, why in the world would you start providing them exit ramps every time they turn around to go to someone else's website? It's crazy. You don't want to do it. If you think something is so important as someone else's website that you have to send your customer there, then you go over to that website and you copy the information off of it and you create a web page and send your customers to your link and not to someone else's. The longer you can keep your potential customer shopping on your website is the longer he cannot be shopping at someone else's. So yes, I want you to promote your website with lots of links, but I want you to send them to different pages at your own website. Let them go round and round, because every time they're looking at something at your website, they're not at the competitors. And it just enhances your ability to sell more for the long term. Why do you want to do that? As they're shopping around and you've got your website designed to show them other items that they're doing, you're saying to them, and by the way, I've got this, and by the way, we've got that. And you design your website to make that friendly and a good thing to do. What's just going to happen is 7 or 8 months down the road, the customer will call you and say, back in the spring, I was at your website, Steve, and I remember seeing this product as I was looking around. That's right. Folks will remember it. They may not remember the name of it or exactly where it was at the website, but because you had made the concerted effort to have them exercise by just going around and looking at different links at your website, you are doing a good marketing thing by doing that. So just a little tip. Could be worth $1 million to you. Not going to cost you a penny tonight. That's part of the plan. What helps customers stay with you? What is the SEO factor that helps customers stay with you once you get them to come to your website? By having pages, web pages that load quickly. In other words, when someone gets to a page, it comes right up. Instead of dragging and dragging and dragging. What a lot of us don't realize is a lot of this nation, a lot of this state does not have high-speed internet. And even if they do, they may be in a network or a provider that they're not buying it. And that means that just because the page comes up really quick at your website as you're building it, in a minute it pops right up. When it goes out through the internet and through the different connections and speed limiters and volume, it may be real slow. Now, some photographs, depending on the number of pixels or the size or the colors, and some web pages with lots of different variables, load really quick, and some of them are as slow as molasses. And you and I don't want web pages that are slow as molasses, but when we're building them, if we're not aware of what does it, we won't never know, and therefore a customer will never see that page because it loaded so slow that they left it before it was ready. So in the look and the hook, I need to add this to the look and the hook story. We need to make sure that we've got fast web pages. How do you know? Ask a professional and say to them, check the speed on all my web pages and let's make them as user-friendly as we can, as fast as we can. Another factor that is coming into play hugely in the recent future is the term called pay-per-click. Google ads that you see on every page when you go for a search, those are the top ads on every page. People are paying extra money to have you to see that ad on your web page. They paid what we call a pay-per-click. They sent Google extra big bucks so that you would see their page before you saw someone else's. This is a really powerful tool and one that maybe someday you want to use. But I'll give you caution now as your business coach. Don't go to Google Ads and set up a big budget and start spending money until you've been well coached and really understand what you're getting into. Because some of their programs are made just to suck you dry and to go after your credit card. Got to be careful there. Make sure you understand the limitations, the budget limitations, and indeed how much time you're wasting trying to make it work, because they make it very, very difficult. I consider myself a pro in a lot of this stuff, but Google Ads requires you to hire a pro to make it work for you. And those people are not only going to charge you what Google's charging you, but they're going to have their own fee as well. So if you're really savvy in this type of stuff, maybe you can handle that. But most of us will have to hire someone to help us. But on the other hand, you can go to Facebook and do what they call boost your ads at Marketplace and other places. And boosting is fairly simple. You can determine a real limited budget as low as $1 a day to boost your ad. And they'll tell you, depending on how much you're spending, about how many people will see your ads. So I boosted the ads for this webinar tonight, for example, and I spent $20 last Thursday when I boosted it to carry us through today. And I just, at noon today, I checked to see what was happening. 500 and some people had clicked on the ad, and excuse me, 900 and some people had seen the ad, and 500 and some had actually clicked on it and spent some time. They didn't register, but they went through the process. So I've got a lot to learn there, but I was pretty pleased with that. I was trying to get some more exposure for our presentation tonight. In my personal and business ads, when I boosted them, I've seen some really good results. Spending a low amount of money, because with Facebook, you can target the region that they go to, like the state or even the county or even the town, the age group, and you've got some real controls there. But again, you're going to give them your credit card, so be real careful as you're getting started. Understand it well. Maybe get someone to explain it to you if you don't own it, okay? But boosting is the same as paying per click. Now, when you Google search engines, when you look at your pages, as you're seeing what we have here on the screen, this is when I typed in Carver Equipment. The ads that are up at the top that have got the pictures with them and such as that, they are the ads that are boosted. They are the pay-per-click ads. Just after that, you will see the Google My Account ads. That didn't cost anything. You did not have to pay per click to have your Google My Business account come up. That's why it's such a great value, because Google will put it in front of the organic ads. What does organic ad mean? Organic ads means it's just one up there with regular SEO work, with no extra boosting or no extra pay per click or no extra Google My Account. It's just a plain ad that's put out there in such a way with SEO, encouraging the search engines to find you before they find someone else. 3 different types now, remember. Those that you're paying per click, those that you're getting through your Google My Business account, and the organic ones, which are regular ads. The Google My Business account gives you the best exposure for the least amount of work and least amount of money. You can also use social media, and we've already known that. But the wrinkle I'm trying to drive home to you is, in social media, use those ads and those presentations. You include your links in there. You include the links to your videos in there and your web pages in your social media ads. That way, someone that sees your ad on social media can click on that link and go to your web page or go to your landing page, where you have more effective marketing tools at play. Plus, it helps people get used to seeing you at your website instead of finding you on social media, where the whole rest of the world is swarming around like fish in a tank. When you get them to come to your website, you got them in a captive audience there, and then you can give them links there to keep them shopping with you and not with everybody else. That's the key, using that. I want to encourage you to be good at social media, but I want you to be real careful in trying to not be the masters of all of them, because you can't do it. And if you're trying to be masters of all these 4 or 5 different types of social media, you're probably spending so much time there, you're not doing any of it justice. Pick 1 or 2, and I want Facebook to be number 1, because it's the easiest to use, and I know you're going to get some results from it. But get good at what you're doing before you try to do everything else for everybody. You can't be all things to all people, but try to be everything for some people. Now, I get a lot of good information from folks like you that are out here that says Pinterest is really good for their type of business, and so many others that are really good. But don't try to be everything for everybody. Focus on 1 or 2 of them and really do it right well, and you'll get all the business you can probably manage. 4 or 5 times through my presentation so far, I have mentioned that many times you need to hire a professional or bring somebody on board that is a pro at managing SEO, managing web pages, managing speed, managing how fast things upload or download. Don't sit around saying I can't hire or afford someone to do that for me. Let me know if you've got those problems and don't have anyone to talk to. go to your Small Business Center director, let them know that you're dealing with this, and see if they have some recommendations. Indeed, at some of the centers, they may have somebody on staff that can help you. So it's an important thing that you don't just try to build your website as an amateur and stay there. Websites are made to do several things. Some people will build websites so they can say, I've got one. I've got one, it's out there. But usually when I say, well, how many clicks or how many emails or quote requests are you getting? And I don't ever get any. Well, something's wrong. Entrepreneurship, if your business is not a nonprofit, if your business is all about getting in and serving customers, getting in shoppers and selling products, then let's make it do it. If your website is lazy and not producing, then it's time to do something different. It's time to get a priority change here, and let's make it happen. Applying what we're talking about tonight will go a long way to helping that happen for you. A long, long way. And there's some people that's already members of our academy that have been through here, other entrepreneurs that are really good at this, and that will charge almost as little to nothing to help you improve your situation. And I know, because I go to those. I have not spent my time to learn about how to build a web page. I have spent my time learning how to sell equipment to customers, and hopefully how to make a presentation to entrepreneurs. So be the expert at what you're the expert at, but give other people credit who knows what it is. But if your website is not producing, change. If your webmaster is saying they're doing as good as they can do and they don't know how to improve it, you need another one. Okay? The step it's called motivating and being assertive. That's what we need to do. Now, how do we get the right keywords, the right content into our web pages? How can we do that? Maybe you know the products that you want to sell, but you hadn't been into this a lot. Well, I got good news for you. There are web pages on the internet that you can type in the search term, like up at the top of this page, and ask for keyword support. Ask for help with different keywords. And when you do that, you'll see 25 or 30 websites that are designed to freely give you options for different search terms to put at your website. It is amazing to me how valuable this tool is and how free it is for you to do. So in doing this, and to give you an example, I decided let's give it a try. So I found one of the websites, and I said, well, I don't pretend that I'm getting in the shoe business, shoes, like you put on your feet. And I want to promote running shoes because I'm in the mountains like Hope is, and a lot of people like to go on the Appalachian Trail up that way, or they're big into exercise like in a college town or this or that. So running shoes is probably a term that a lot of my targeted customers might type in. So this website told me all the different other search terms that people are typing in when they're looking for running shoes. It's just instantaneously, if you'll look over on the left and the right, they give you all these different search terms. Now you can pick and choose through those, the ones that you like, or use them all and plug them into the text on your web page. It even tells you, like over on the right-hand side of the screen here, which are the search terms that are most used for people looking for running shoes, or that were on that day. I did this 3 or 4 years ago. And they told us that people looking for running shoes are most likely to type in Brooks shoes. See it there on the top right? And on this particular day, or yesterday, 280,000 people, not 280,900 people, typed in Brooks shoes searching for running shoes. Amazing. If you're trying to decide which are the best search terms to add in the text, this is going to tell you. This is going to tell you what the average Joes out here that are shopping, what search terms they're using. So you can copy and paste those search terms you want to use and plug them into your web pages. This is also the really good example of why you want to stock really good name brand products. Maybe they cost more. Maybe they cost 3 times more than some economy stuff. But people who recognize a name brand don't have to be sold. The name brand has already sold itself. And yes, you may say, I didn't want to stock that expensive stuff, but it's the expensive stuff that sells best, and you make the most profit on it. Our friend Jimmy, who's on board with us, he had a decision to make a few years ago on different types of hair products to stock in his store. And we had the discussion, and he decided on his own that he wanted to go with a certain brand because it was a name brand and well accepted, and he ordered in a nice display, and they gave him nice signage, and I think to date he's very pleased that he made that move. And hopefully he will be able to continue to add more products. Sometimes you want to put in the very best and the most expensive, and right beside of it, you want to put in some economy names. That's good marketing. You want to serve your customers that want to pay the extra bucks for the name brand, but those of us who want a little bit better deal and just can't maybe afford that particular high price, how about having a product for me too, and I'll do more business with you. But the search terms, you can find them immediately by using these websites that are designed to tell you the very best search terms for what it is that you're trying to sell. Once you know your search terms, you can go to your web pages, as you see my cursor at the bottom here. And at the bottom of your web page, you can fill it up with text, with words, with sentences, with the names of words, with text words that you think your customers may be plugging in as search terms. And you can put that right down at the bottom of your web page in very small print that nobody is ever going to read except the search engines. So you can fill your pages up with the words that maybe your customers are typing in and not have any effect on your marketing ability for the rest of the page. No extra charge for this little tip that'll make money for you. Here's another example of on one of my web pages. I learned from someone informed me that if you or anyone else in the United States is riding around and you're in a certain town, let's say Altrice, that you're riding through Gastonia, North Carolina. And the mere fact that you're riding through Gastonia and you're searching for something on the internet on Google with search terms, if you're in a cell tower range that is Gastonia, no matter what you type in, if there's a business in that area that they recognize as a Gastonia business, it'll come up on your search. That's why lots of times, and all of us have known, we typed in something, and all of a sudden, here comes a business that comes up that hadn't got anything to do with what we were looking for. Let's say we were looking for new tires in Benson, North Carolina, and the first thing that pops up is the McDonald's in Benson, North Carolina. It ain't got anything to do with tires, but it was Benson. So if at our website we want to have customers see our presentations when we are at Benson, if we have the word Benson typed into some of our web pages, it's liable to pop right up, just right out of the blue. It's a freebie. It's a freebie. So remember that in our first thing when we talked about the regions, the targeted regions, if we know that we want to have customers in certain targeted regions, then we need to go find out the towns, the names of the towns in those different regions, put them in a long list, a block of text, and plug them into a web page down at the bottom of the page, mainly on either the landing page for that item or just in your regular, every page you can do it. There's no limit, there's no law about it, but it's just a really good tool to help you do it. Just as on this page, I'm giving you examples. I've got everything from North Carolina towns from Mount Olive all the way to Rocky Mount and Nashville and Lillington and just a long list of them, and it works. What do you mean it works? Many times through the year, I'll get a phone call during the day and someone on the other end will say, hey, Steve, I'm looking at your website here and looking forward to getting more information about this product that you sell. And we'll go through, I'll get in the price and all that stuff, and then they might say, and by the way, where are you located? I'll say, I'm right here in beautiful downtown Dutton, North Carolina. Holy moly, I'm in California. I thought you were right here next to us. I said, well, we're talking just like we're right beside each other, and I can ship directly to you, and we do it all the time. Why did that customer end up calling me? Because on my web pages, some of them I have California town names on areas that I think people might have an interest in that product. And it works. Okay? Here's another example of a group of content to put on web pages. These are all a lot of the different products we sell. And if you'll notice in some of these, I'll put down the product and then put a town by, like this is Tractor Canopies, Goldsboro, North Carolina, Planters, Roanoke, Virginia, hay balers in Iowa, you got state names, Wisconsin. You can mix it up any way you want to. Help the search engines find you. Now, we're all about the customers finding us, not just so that we can say we have customers that found us, right? We want the customers to find us so we can sell them something, so we can get our money out of their pocket. We want to get our money out of their pocket. So when they come to our webpage, or come to our website, we want to send and direct them to not just any page. We want to direct them to the landing page for the product they're looking for. So landing pages are different than other pages. Do you have some landing pages now? That's a fair question for me to ask. Do you want to have some landing pages? You do. Let me get a little sticky here. You know, this time of year when it's a hot day and you're eating outside, sometimes the flies come around, the insects come around, they can be such a mess. And some of us down here in the country resort to getting what we call a fly tape or a strip, a real sticky tape that we just hang up, and hopefully the fly on that and be stuck to it instead of flying around in your face or on your food. That is sticky stuff, isn't it? That's what we want our landing page to be like. We want it to be so cool and so good that when a customer, a shopper, comes into our range and lands on that landing page, that they're stuck. Because we've got the content there that keeps them there. We got the message that this is not take it or leave it. We got the message that tells them a lot of information. We got the message that tells them the pricing and convinces them it's a good price because it's so far below retail. We got the message that says you can order this right now and have a reason to order it now, like the price may go up or the season's getting ready to end or very few in stock or what's happening this week that we'll say. You know, the shipping industry is getting ready to go on strike and prices will go up and availability will be really tight. So it's a good reason to buy now while we still got some inventory and the supply chain's full. Those are selling items. That's selling tools. That's what you do. And then like in the middle of this page, you'll see I offer the customer different prices for the same product. They can pay a different price for the way that they pay, the method they use to pay with, when they buy it, what freight option they choose changes the price. Instead of saying, this is the price, take it or leave it. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want the customer to say, this is the price, take it or leave it. But I want them to say, okay, here's the price range, and I can choose these different options maybe, and we can figure out how I can afford this thing. Yeah. I can get it assembled or not assembled. I can get it on a freight truck or I can come pick it up. I can pay for it with cash and get a better price than paying for it with a credit card. In other words, let me think about this and talk to you about it. Let me think about this and talk to you about it. When people are talking to you, you're creating a relationship and you're bargaining and you're not saying take it or leave it. And the chances of you getting the deal explode in a good way. And when you get the deal, the customer's happy and becomes a Raven fan customer and tells other people, hey, talk to Steve. He'll figure out a way to help you. That's what you're after here. You want a landing page that holds them there like a fly trap with enough information that gives you the best chance to close the sale. That's the objective. Now, on the landing pages, the amount of text that you use, the content that you put into that has everything to do with SEO. Notice on this page that I use the same words over and over: drum mower, sickle mower, sickle bar mower, twine baler, model numbers repeated and repeated. Why am I doing all this repeating? I'm putting the text, the content text words in there that I think people will use as their search terms. And therefore, my pages get a lot of hits because we do that. Lastly, in general, you've heard through the years people talking about mainly about real estate that what's important, location, location, location. Well, that's the truth. I have no argument with that statement at all because location, location, location is a fundamental important tool in your marketing effort. Where you put your billboards, where you put your ads out on in signage, how you put your signs on your cars or your trucks, how you place your pictures and statements on your web pages. Some parts of the web pages are more powerful than others. In person, when you go to a meeting, where do you stand? Where are you to see and be seen? Which is what marketing is about. See and be seen. When you sit down at a table, where do you sit and how do you pick your location? When you're standing beside someone talking to them, are you try to be face to face, or you try to stand beside them and be on their side? Lots of little tips there are so important. We'll get into a lot of this week after next, but location is so important. So here's the message I want to give you. If you're not on the internet, you don't have a location. If you don't have a good cell phone page, you don't have a location. You're out of the game. So take the action to make it happen. Yeah, I'm being assertive here. I'm trying to motivate you because I know that if you don't do something different tomorrow than what we're doing today, then nothing's going to change. And these are the things that we've talked about tonight that will make things change for you, that will make a big difference for you. So back to what I mentioned earlier. What are the 5 major things that you can do right now while we're talking about marketing and people and selling and things like that? 5-star plan. Identify your profit centers, put some prices on them, make sure that your profit centers give you upsell opportunities. Seasons are important, and part of your handouts now is the information to help you build your seasonal marketing campaign for the winter. Fall is already here. You can do some of that, but I'm telling you, you're probably going to be wasting your time. By the time you get it out there, it's going to be winter, so let's start on our winter marketing. And I'm promising you that tomorrow, that's what I'm going to do in my business. You got to plan 60 days ahead of time, so stop waiting. It's time to do it. Get your pricing and your discounting and your targeted strategies in mind and on paper if you can. Know what the upsell opportunities and the bundles are. As I was waiting to start tonight's program, I was listing down some of my products like hay balers, drum mowers, wheel rakes, and tedders. I'm going to put those in a bundle, try to make a decent profit on it, mow it down, probably make a little bit more profit than I would have made on one unit, but I don't try to sell 4 to encourage people, let's go ahead and do a big ticket item. When you're doing big ticket items, then people have the opportunity to add other things to it. That with upsells that you'll end up making more money in the long run by starting out with a lower price. Create YouTube videos that promote these products and make sure you mention the look and hook features in those videos. And then get on with it. Run them, post them, display them, send the emails out. How you gonna do it? Use your website and make sure you've done mobile friendly. Make sure you've done landing pages because you can do all this other work, and if they're not mobile friendly and 85% of the people or more are shopping on their phone, they won't ever see them. That's why I mentioned that. Facebook and personal pages, just as important. And I've been told that web designers can make your Facebook pages mobile friendly as well. I don't know the details of that, but I understand it's quite important. Let's do your email blast. Have a database of lots of email addresses and start sending your messages out. Use other social media like eBay, Craigslist. I didn't mention Amazon. That's a complicated affair. Some people do quite well with it, but I'm not getting into that just yet. Your YouTube channel is a fabulous marketing tool for you, provided you learn to name your YouTube videos. The title of those videos needs to coincide with the search terms you think your customer will be searching for. Brand names, type of product, type of service. Make sure you name your video, because those video titles is what the search terms will see. Hang in there now, go for it. There's no reason not to. The question is, how do we find customers? The answer is, we help them find us. Is that as simple as it can be? How do we find customers? We help them find us. And we do it by using the media, the method to use that media, and guerrilla marketing terms, and we come up with a plan for each group. Now, there's a big opportunity here to make a boo-boo, to do a bad thing. And I've seen it through the years, and I've done it myself. So I want to talk about it a little bit, and that is letting a major customer group potential fall through the cracks because we didn't think about them, because we didn't think they were important enough. So I'll spend a few minutes talking about the importance of every customer group. All of us that have been in business a long time, and those who have been in business a short time, know that when you're first getting started and things aren't always profitable, there are months and weeks that if we had just done one more business or got one more client or a couple of more, sold a couple of more items this month, we would have been in black ink, we would have been profitable. But we didn't, and we lost money. And the bottom line is whether or not you did $1 million worth of business this month. But if your costs were $1,001,001, you lost money and did all that work. So while I was using the big numbers there, the entrepreneur in me, the endurance part, is telling me the important focus is not on those big ticket items. It is on the consistency of having a good, rounded, diversified customer base of different people. Diversified. A brick building is made of bricks and mortar, right? And some huge buildings have billions of bricks in them too, for sure. But let's focus on the brick mason laying brick, okay? They're laying brick one at a time, and that mason will put the right amount of mortar in there. Then he'll make sure it's level with his string. He'll make sure it's plumb, going up and down with the plumb bob, because everything needs to be square and up and down. But before he leaves that single brick, after he gets it just right, you hear the music of the masons. And the music of the masons is every time a brick is laid, you'll hear that mason take the end of his trowel, turn it up, and now what is the mason doing when he does that? What is the bricklayer doing? He's doing what is called setting the brick. He's making that mortar stick, not only to the brick, but to the other mortar that's already been laid down. And when the brick is set, it becomes part of the building. If they didn't do that, in a little while, the minute the wind would blow or just the sheer weight of things, it'd fall down and just crumble right by itself. The setting of the brick is the most important part of laying the brick, because it creates the bond and makes all the individuals become one. This is exactly what we need to do with each and every customer. We build our businesses one customer at a time. And by doing it right, start to finish, including setting, making sure they're 100% satisfied, then we're going to build a business that's sustainable when we treat each one of these bricks. And if you notice, they're all the same size. And no matter how big the deal is, how large the sale or how small it was, or whether it was just an inquiry, that customer is an important brick in your business. And we have to keep the mindset to realize that. We want to make sure he is set, that we've got his contact information, and we're going to stay in touch with him. We're going to make him a raving fan customer and remind him how hungry we are and how much we appreciate his business and his sending other people to us. Hold on to that, my friends. Each customer, one brick at a time, makes a world of difference. I like horse races. I don't bet on them, but I like to watch them sometimes, especially the Kentucky Derby. In this picture, we see a horse back in the back that is 4 or 5 inches ahead of the other one. Both of them are running their hearts out. But the horse in the back there that's got that 4-inch lead in a photo finish, he'll win $1 million or more. The horse in the front didn't win, and he'll get a bale of hay. That's a lot of difference in being a winner or not, being in black ink or being in red ink. That horse is 4 or 5 inches ahead because the jockey riding that horse knew exactly how to manage it, to touch it, to pat it, to encourage him to stretch out, to ride it to the finish line, how to do whatever he does to get the horse to put his nose a little bit further. The jockey knew the little things to do. That's what we have to do. We have to appreciate these little things that we're talking about tonight, because these little things will help you knock base hits and not try to hit home runs all the time. Now, the World Series is coming up, and home runs are important and they're exciting. And to us in business, that's doing a deal where we have a great big amount of money and a good deposit and make a good profit. And we'll get some of those. You keep stepping up to the plate, you'll get a few home runs, but mainly you want to make sure that you get some base hits, lots of base hits, so that you stay in the game. And when you're up there swinging, you'll get those base hits, you'll strike out sometimes, and maybe you'll get a home run. You know who struck out more in the days that we're talking about? One baseball player struck out more than anyone else. I mean, big time more than anyone else. But that same baseball player was Babe Ruth, and in his day, he also hit more home runs than anyone else. But it was other players on the game that won more games. I mean, other players on the teams that really won more games because they were up there consistently hitting base hits and not striking out. That's what we want to do as small business people. We want to set our businesses up so that we have a good flow of base hits. In doing that, we need to sell things that people want and things that people need. And we need to have some of both. That way we'll keep those customers coming in. Back to your targets. Really important. It's up to you to come up with the different targets. Name the different types of customers that you want to focus on. I can help you with that if we want to know what your profit centers are and what your goals are. But in your mind, I'd like for you to draw some targets on papers and start making some notes. Maybe you're in an area and the things you sell have to do with vacationers, or maybe everything you sell will have to do with people shopping on the telephone, maybe your cell phone. Maybe you live in Jacksonville and you're interested in Marine families, or maybe Goldsboro and you're interested in Air Force families, or Fayetteville and interested in U.S. Army families, or Morehead City and interested in Coast Guard families, or Elizabeth City the same. Whatever it is, think about it. Make a target list of your low-hanging fruit. And then we're going to put together the different types of media, how we're going to reach out to them, how we're going to do things for them to get them to see us. I'll mention to you something that's often forgotten. For entrepreneurs just getting started in business, one of your best target groups might be new people to the community, people just moving in, because those folks are not loyal to anyone else. They don't have an allegiance. They're not used to doing business with your competitor. So you coming forward with a good presentation, a good media work, indeed, they'll see you and they're not going to judge you wrongly because they don't have anything bad to think about you or anything good to draw them to anyone else. They're brand new. So think about that might be a good customer group for you and how to get there. You might be thinking about the best way that I can help customers find me is for me to take my booth and my products and go out and set it up where lots of people are coming in. So I mentioned to you that today I got notice that in the near future over at James Brunt Community College in Kenansville, the Small Business Center there is setting up a small business show your wares, have a show group for new entrepreneurs. So that might be something, and they're inviting the community in to come and see new business people, meet them, maybe do some business. This might be a great opportunity for you. So I'll send you some email more on that, and Joy will probably be sending you some as well. But there's events going on everywhere, all the time. And in your handout, your study guides, I sent you some information about events in North Carolina and how to find out where they are, who they are, and when they are, and how to get in touch with folks. So you got some really good information. One of the super places you can go is a website called NC Festivals and Events. NC Festivals and Events. You go there and it's just a smorgasbord of good information for entrepreneurs that are wanting to get into the pop-up business or maybe to go places and introduce their new businesses to customers. They have it listed by dates and towns. This is something that if you're into that, you must have. It's a must for any entrepreneur in North Carolina. Again, name the media, name the method, and let's do some guerrilla marketing. Lots of different ways to approach that. I want to talk to you about signs. Signs don't have anything to do with the internet anymore, do they? But they do. When you're putting up a billboard or a sign, you want to make sure you put your website links there. And these QR codes now are becoming more and more popular in the last few months than I have ever seen them in the last 6 years. QR codes are becoming the thing now. These new telephones are designed now to read them quicker and better. And what does a QR code do for you? Your cell phone will bring that QR code information data into it and automatically link you to a web page. Now, you know what old Steve-O's going to be doing when I revamp these webinars? I'm going to be hitting on that hard. Because if you got a QR code and someone's not calling you or sending you a text message, but instead they're hitting the QR code, which is good, we want to send them to your landing page. Or we want to send them to your video where you're actually talking to them as if they had called you on the phone. That's going to be super powerful. And we're going to be the first people doing that. QR codes to videos, I think, will be a lot better message than sending them to a web page. Maybe you got a product that will be best to put on billboards for the community, but you can't stand the $1,500 to $2,500 a month billboard. But maybe you can co-op it with some other small businesses. And if you have an interest in doing that, the small business centers in your area, or I'll try to help you find some people to join you on some boards as well. Your handout is full of good information. I want you to use it. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about it. I will mention to you that Google locator maps are really powerful. Like right here on my webpage, this Google map right here, it says Carver Equipment, but notice it says Fields from Wilson, NC. You've got options to use Google Maps to send people to places other than your particular location. Like if you've got a depot somewhere or a storage building or another office, you can use Google Maps to do that as well. So keep that in mind, it might help you. What is guerrilla marketing? And you got a handout on that. Guerrilla marketing is doing things that are kind of outside the circle, outside the box, things that people might not expect. It's taking that dollar bill and stretching it as far as you can. It's like you're at a street fair and you have a sidewalk chalk out here having big arrows that are coming to your booth or messages that you're writing down there. or you're in a street fair convention and you put posters up all around the other people's booths and all over the place telling about things that you've got. The little things you can do very inexpensively that bring customers right straight back to you. Doing business ads and SEO are really important. When you go to the grocery store next time, and we walk down this aisle every time where all the cereals are, there's a name that jumps out all the time. It's Kellogg. It's been there for 100 years, right? And Kellogg is one business. You are one business. But Kellogg has 76 different DBAs. If it's good for Kellogg, it's good for me and you. Learning to use DBAs is saying, we've got a good, strong company, and we make a lot of stuff. And we're going to name this stuff different names that people can identify with. But it's still us. Yes, that's what we want to do with DBAs with our products. DBAs can help you in another way as well. DBAs can help you name your business different names, just like you name your products and services different names. You can name your business with counseling for Murphy, North Carolina, Mountain Counseling, Western North Carolina Counseling, North Carolina Spiritual Counseling, Hopes Counseling. The same business, but putting different DBAs, talking about the different aspects of where people are in the region, or different aspects of the different types of counseling. You can have different web pages for each one of those different things, and you can have a different legal registered DBA for that name, and no one else can get a legal registered DBA for that. And how much does it cost you? About $5 a lick and 35 minutes to get it registered with the Secretary of State. So DBAs serve two big important points in marketing and helping customers find you. One, repeating, it helps you put aliases in the name. Alias is also known as for your business, so different people can identify with it. And it also lets you name different products, different names, so that different people will find them because they used in a certain search term. It's a big deal. Read that study guide with the DBAs. It'll really help you a lot. Using Facebook and eBay are really good ways to get your links out there to different people. Know that testimonials is a really good way to help people searching for you get rid of anxieties, because if they see your 5 stars or they see your testimonials, it automatically relieves them. Well, if he can satisfy all these other people, they can satisfy me. At my website, I even have this slide that comes by and shows people where to click. This slide shows a lot of different things, like, by the way, we've got this and that. And by the way, we've got a retail testimonials page that is incredible. So I send them to them with that finger pointing to them. Let me encourage you to develop a different plan for each one of your customer groups. That was kind of the summary of what we're doing. A different plan for each one of the regions that you're going to be out. Select your targets, select who you're going to be working with, and such as that. Now I'm clicking through here, but as you get the video, you can stop these links anywhere you want to. Now I need to mention, it's 2024, headed for 25. And when we mention 2 words, cold calls, a lot of people just shimmy and say, not me. I'm not selling Fuller brushes door to door or vacuum cleaners like people used to. Well, a reality check to you guys who are doing certain types of work and wanting certain types of customers is this. In your community, or you already know some customers that if they would give you their business, it would be a great, big, good thing for you. If you could get this client or that client to start doing business with you, it would be really good. But you know what? They're happy with where they are now. They don't even know you exist. They don't care whether you exist or not. They're happy with their supplier, with the products, and they're not shopping. Well, that may be the truth, and now the cold call comes into play. Because sometimes your business will make a big growth difference and have a better chance for sustainability if you can get a few important customers. You need to go call on them. You need to go knock on some doors and start from scratch, start from cold to start creating a relationship. And those people that you're going to meet, if it's a bigger company at the desk, their job is to sit there and say, no, we're not taking any solicitors. We don't want to talk to you. I'm sure you're a nice person, but we don't want to talk to you. Well, they're not your enemy. They're the mean gatekeeper is what we call them, the gatekeepers. And most entrepreneurs come to hate them real quick and just say that I'm not going to keep going up there wasting my time with someone that won't even say hello to him or let me get in the door. Well, remember that about how many times you have to keep getting up, and this is a good example. Because these gatekeepers are the ones that if you're smart enough and savvy enough and mindful enough, will turn them into raving fan customers. Never do any business with them at first. But if you want that order, then Steve-O is telling you here, you need to call on them about every 6 weeks. You need to have your business card ready. You need to remember the gatekeeper's name and be friendly and smile so that about a third or fourth time you're coming up there, they know your name and are glad to see you because they know you're going to say, look, I know I'm not invited. I know you may not need something today, but I really want a chance to do business with you guys. And if it ever comes up, please remember me and hand them that card and saying, you take care of Sally, your dog, or I hope your daughter's doing well. Have something nice and friendly. And you remember that because on day one, you started making notes on this person, their name and little things that maybe they shared. You do not want to take up a lot of their time, a minimum amount of time. And you don't want to go in there with a lot of things you don't do that I'll talk about next week. But you do want to go in there and start creating a name recognition and a relationship because listen to me here. The last point I'm going to make tonight. To get certain business, lots of times, especially with really good accounts, stable accounts that pay you, someone has to die, retire, or move away before someone else gets a chance to do business. On a lot of the business you want, before you will ever have a chance to get it, someone will die, retire, or move away. Here you go back into this same gatekeeper now that you've become a friend, saying hello to them, such as that. You've been calling on them for 2 years, and they haven't done anything except been nice to you. But two things might happen today. After you leave, and she goes out to lunch with her friend. And the friend's telling her she's in some type of business about a provider in their company is getting ready to change. And then this person you've been talking to, is able to say, you know, I hadn't done any business with this person, but they're really nice and persistent, and I think they might be the person you're looking for. Let me give you their name and number. So this gatekeeper is giving someone else your name and number. Or she goes back to work after lunch and sitting there doing her work, and from the office behind her, the main boss calls her up, or the main manager, and just calls out to her at her office, says, Sally, Mr. Clemens is going to retire. He's been doing our yard work for 20 years, but he just called me and said he's going to retire in a few weeks, and we need to find someone to replace him. And you're going to say, well, you know, I don't know the kind of work that they do, but I've been impressed with how consistent they are and how nice and how well they communicate. And I've got this name here of someone that we might want to give a chance to talk to. And he'll say, Mr. Clemens will say, all right, give them a call. Bring them on up here. Let's talk to them. Yeah. That's the way it works. I'll tell you this, and I'll mention it next week in the same sentence. In the life of a business person, entrepreneur, you'll find that more times than not, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And the who you know brings us right straight home to cold calling is a necessary thing to do. I've been in business for almost 66 years, and I have to do cold calls. Not because I hate them, because it's just a part of what we need to do to stay business and stay viable. Think about how this might apply to what you're doing. Who are those customers that you're probably not going to ever get a chance to work with unless you go knock on the door and start building a relationship? That's the way it works. It is so very important that we do that. So remember now that holidays are right around the corner. It's time to start your marketing now, is to do that. I want to say to you, cool weather's coming. Get ready to rake some leaves, light your candle, bring warmth and light to someone. God bless you and your family. And we're very lucky to have our director with us on board here to help us close out. How about it, Bart? Give us some words of wisdom.
You're full of that, Steve.
No.
I just to thank everybody for coming, and let me know if there's anything you need or anybody you need me to help you get in touch with.
Very good. We certainly do appreciate the offer and all the help that you offer to the entrepreneurs in Sampson and surrounding counties. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Any of our other guests, we'd like to hear from you if you'd like to have a comment.
Yeah, always good to see. Good to be a part of your class, Steve.
Well, hello, Pac-Man. Thank you so much for joining in. How's things going with you?
Everything's going pretty good, Mr. Steve. I can't complain.
Thank you for joining us. The new baby doing well?
Yes, sir. She just turned 4 months. She's about to be 5 months this month.
How wonderful. So proud of you. Congratulations.
Thank
you
you.
for joining us. Look forward to seeing you soon. And let me mention that the team of folks that you had preparing ribs out there, I was really impressed with them. Thank you so much for bringing me up to speed on that. I'll promote that in the future.
Okay. Did you enjoy your plate?
Oh yes, we did. I made 3 meals out of it.
Oh man.
And Bart, how did that Cub Scout night go? Did you have a successful drawing?
Oh boy, we sure did. Steve, you will not believe it if I tell you who won the first prize.
Who was it?
Amanda Bradshaw.
All right. That's great.
Steve bought a ticket 20 minutes before we did the drawing, and I mixed it up too. I saw it on top, and I mixed them up good, so I know it wasn't on top. But they drew her out first.
How about that? You got another Amanda that works here as well, don't you?
Yes, we did. We used to. She has gone on to, I think, Fayetteville State now.
How about that? Now, she's a nice lady as well.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for your work. Thanks for your work, Scouts.
Thank you. Yeah, it's well worth it.
No doubt. I love scouting. All right, and Whitney, thank you for joining us tonight. I'll look forward to sending you some information. Drop me an email. And over in the chat board, Whitney, if you will, give me your email address and hometown, and maybe I can send the information to you that you're asking for. I hope God bless you and everyone in your neighborhood in Murphy and the Mountain Cities. We're all praying for you and pulling for you, and hope y'all get the help that you need over there. Okay, good night, everybody. We love you, your family. God bless you, and we'll see you next week.
Good night, Steve. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night, Jimmy.